everybody, and welcome to next edition, well, the first edition of the biggotry news. And today, Islam is attacking Islam. Sweden's getting wrecked by Sweden. Islamists threaten with hell, and Germany is still a rave country. So, of course, if you don't know this, then you are probably somebody who just came out of the rock, came out of under the rock, and yeah, Islam is, if you don't know yet, a very militant ideology that, of course, has many branches, and the branches sometimes hate each other, and sometimes they hate each other so much that somebody from one branch comes into somebody in the other branch and just, stabs him stabs him. I will be using an article from Gatestone Institute. I don't know how actually good info this is, if it's not something extremely bigoted, but it shouldn't be. Also, in this series, I am going to address the bigotry of low expectations and the bigotry in general of feminism and SJWs. So today, today or in some, I don't know, well, in this week, Mr. Shah has been murdered by Tanver Ahmed, and he was killed, and Mr. Shah was in a branch of Islam that is called, wait a little bit, he was, there is not, it is not said here which one was it, but he was a member of Islamic sect which was dismissed as heretical by many Muslims. So, heretic, kill the heretic. So they just came. This guy just came into his shop, took out a knife, stabbed him, killed him. And this gave him 27 years in prison. You might think, wow, that's quite a lot. Man, that's really crazy. You might think, no, it is the minimal sentence. So if I would come to a feminist and stab her to death, I don't think I would get a minimal sentence for that. I don't really believe that is how the world works. If you kill somebody because of ideology, you should get the greatest possible sentence there is. Like, it's like crazy, And also, he stabbed him to death. Like, if you stab somebody to death, it's not a very nice thing. It just really fucking hurts. Really fucking hurts. It's not like giving somebody a bullet to the brain. This is just coming at somebody with a knife and stabbing them is just barbaric. Well, Islam is barbaric, but whatever. So yeah, this is this. Also, the family of the attacker, this Mr. Ahmed, was actually supportive. Well, at least one member of his family, and it is believed that he did this because I don't know if you know, but in recently there has been an attack on a member of government in one Islamist country because he was the member of the parliament, or the president in the in the person in the leadership was considered heretic, so he just came and stabbed, and they just came and killed him. And when mosques of the Western world were reacting to this, they didn't say, "Oh, that is not a great Muslim. He killed somebody," or "Real Muslims talk with the people they hate, not kill them." No, they said he was a real Muslim, and they killed him, and they didn't, and they sent him to prison. That's really bad, and we should really just let them out, and everybody should be like that Muslim. Everybody should just come and kill everybody who he wants to kill. So yeah, this type of crap. So that's not very nice, of course. That's pretty fucking bad. You know, you don't want those people running around your mosques, indoctrinating your people. And of course, since this was a Muslim, he got A, the minimal sentence, B, nobody gave a fuck who actually indoctrinated him into this, and just, and C, of course, this probably will not get much press coverage, so fucking ridiculous. Then the Sweden Summer Inferno of Sexual Assaults. This is pretty retarded, but yeah. So everybody, almost everybody, of course, who attacked were the citizens of Afghanistan, Eritrea, and Somalia, which, if I am correct, are not countries where war is right now. Well, Somalia may be considered a country where is fighting that is at war, but you know, I don't think it actually legally is at war with somebody. So yeah, this is pretty stupid because, of course, none of these are refugees; they are just migrants. So yeah, like, fuck this shit. And of course, if you are an immigrant, then of course you just put your hands into your pockets and whistle while you are trying to survive and live by, because like, you don't want to get deported back to the country you came from. You're gonna get shot immediately. Well, that is pretty retarded. Yeah. Well, many of the perpetrators who sexually assaulted women did that at Pute i Parken, which was a musical festival in Karlstad, and they were Don't Grope bracelet. What the fuck is that? Whatever. And many people were surprised that the organizer of the festival decided to arrange a free bus ride to the festival for the local unaccompanied refugee children. And they claimed that it was the first festival in Sweden that encourages a significant increase of newly arrived migrants in the audience. I don't know. I don't think that's much for true, but in Sweden, like being progressive in Sweden, that's like the basis, right? You can't just be like, "Oh, I am so progressive now. Yes, everybody come to me. I have arrived. I have made this great thing. Now everybody virtue signal." I don't think you can really virtue signal easily in Sweden because it's just so overblown even now. Well, and just the police, of course, is in Sweden, if I'm correct. They don't anymore even actually send any statistics out because they are scared of doing this. And of course, the same is for Germany and in America. If you don't notice it, there has been since 2008 there have been no black crime, black on white crime, statistics. So this is pretty retarded. This is just pushing your narrative and don't giving people information, which is pretty fucking lame. This is communist level shit. Well, Hamas, vote for us or burn in hell. Well, I don't think I have to talk much more about it, but just they say that this worked in the past, and just this is not that is not a match. Yeah, and also they issued a fatwa banning Palestinians from voting, and wait, yeah, Palestinians from voting for any other party than Hamas. So you have one party. If you're a Palestinian, you have to vote for it. You vote for it, which is there's not much democracy in that, if I can say that. And Germans Germany's migrant wave crisis now spreads to cities and towns in 16 of Germany's federal states. So like they had this great uh, rape crisis in Cologne. Well, now they have it everywhere because if you don't do anything about the disease will spread. Like this some basic stuff. Also, that is said that 90% of sex crimes committed in Germany in 2014 do, do not appear in the official statistics, according to some Andre Schultz, the head of the Association of Criminal Police. And yeah, there are instructions coming from the top, telling them that they are not supposed to report this stuff, in their reports, and they are supposed to just talk it out and deal with it this way without it having to be into statistics and all this. Yeah. Well, taking all these news, you might not be surprised that Europe is swinging to the right. Of course, this is pretty much this is this is expected. Of course, every time there is communist agenda pushed, and all this collectivist stuff, and also there is discrimination against somebody. There always comes the right wing to save the day. Yeah, it's pretty stupid. Like if you really want to help get Europe out of trouble, just don't vote for the right wing. Please, just try get somebody near the left. Like center right maybe. Yeah, you can do that, but please just don't go right wing. Plus, don't go full Italy again. This also, I wanted to go a little bit further on this. Italy is of course a country that has had the problems after the First World War, because there has been they were promised a lot of land, they didn't get anything, and they generally were fucked over by the whole world. And from Russia, there there was a great um, there was a great effort to bring communism into Italy, and so the higher class, and of course then even the middle class, decided to give money to and vote for the right wing, and there is a fascist there. Cool, right? And fascism rolls that way, you know. So I don't know. I don't think this is a good way. This is pretty. This is like this is the level of bad stuff that led to Second World War, and I don't know. It's pretty stupid. And in the end, it probably is extremely dangerous. Also because if you have in Europe some fascist or Nazist parties, you are going to get really angry at the fascist at the Nazi parties of Islam, because if you have a country that is ruled by fascists or Nazists, it will most certainly be controlled by their by what do they believe, what gods do they believe, and since they have a different deities, the the Islam and of course Christianity. If they are both far right, which right now Islam of course is far right, then there certainly will be a clash between them. Many people will die, and it will be just really horrible. Looking at the statistics that are given in one of the links that will be below, you can see how there is a rise in right wing uh, in right wing parties generally. After communism, of course, there were some right wing tendencies, which of course generally fell off, and now they are coming back with the rise of cultural Marxism and social justice. Well, and there is also one more thing. In Australia, no, in Austria, there was created a party for. There was created a nationalist and anti-immigration freedom party, and it got 35% of the vote. So you can see how really people are getting fed up with this stuff, and you can see this like with Trump and Trump, this stuff. Other countries have this. Even my country, Czech Republic, which was often very very quiet. Not really much of a things happening here. Mostly the center, and even here people are starting to go back to the standard values, and that's actually why they probably elected Miloš Zeman. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you know this guy. It's something like Czech Trump. So it's like Trump, except he drinks much more. So yeah, you can see all this also with Putin and all the other presidents that are in Russia, and generally the east of the Europe is getting really fed up with this thing even before it came here. So it's getting a little bit fucked up, really fucked up. And probably if this trend will continue in a few years, you will not be you will not be have you will not have problems with feminist propaganda and left-wing propaganda. You will have problems with right-wing propaganda. And I'm telling you, that stuff is much worse, much worse, because both left and right wing do um, do prosecute and kill and jail people for something, but left is the one that prosecutes people for being for having a different belief. So, for example, if you go to a feminist website, that you will never get banned for being gay or trans or something like that. But if you say that, for example, she talks a lot of shit and show her some statistics that don't really go with her propaganda, she will immediately ban you. But if you go to a right-wing party and write the same stuff, they will not ban you. But if you say that you are gay, you will get banned. So it's this half on half, and neither of them is really good, because you should not ban people at all. That's why we stick to the center. That it's called the horseshoe syndrome, or horseshoe stuff. When if you have near the center, these ideologies are completely different. One wants equality for all, the second wants some sort of classes and wants to have stuff like this. One wants money to the poor, one wants money to the best, and to the the far to right it goes then to the privileged, and kind of like this. And but if you go to the right wing and right wings, uh, far right wing, far left wing, you get pretty bad stuff coming out, because and the stuff will be almost the same. because you come to communism, you get killed for this. You come to Nazism, you get killed for this. And in the end, the body count is kind of the same. Communists kill a little more people, Nazis kill people a little faster, but they often get destroyed faster. But it really is this kind of bad stuff. But in the end, it's oppressive government against an oppressive government. You can, for example, look at China and compare it to Islam. In both, you wouldn't like to be in any of those countries, but you know, like please just don't be bitches and let the West survive. Vote for somebody who you really think is going to fix stuff, and not for somebody who you think will balance the scales, because the scales will get balanced, but they will start tipping the direction you do not want. So this is kind of an open plea to anybody who is watching this video. Just please do not vote for right wing parties, and if you are at it, don't vote for right wing parties. Just please stick to the center. And I guess this is the end of this video. My vocal cords are getting killed, and I hope you enjoyed this video. You can comment, like, and subscribe if you're at it. I will try to stick to more time, to more standard type of videos, but I don't know. Also, tell me how you liked this new sort of format of videos where I react to the news taken from some site. I don't know which one I will be using. You can send me your suggestions also to the comments. And so yeah, I would say that is all of it, and